Most manufacturers don't want to make the investment in their personnel to properly train them. When business is good, they have lots of money, but they don't want to take their employees away from the busyness of the manufacturing to train them. But then when business is not good and everything is slow, they don't have the money to send them. This is just a common trap in manufacturing and how they budget. They also are concerned that they will train an employee out of their employment. Meaning, so I take John or Sue and I get them well trained on this stuff, and then they go accept a job for more money someplace else. The end result is there are not sufficient people to support the current manufacturing in this country.
I was going to say, just to add to that, I think there's a huge transition going on as far as people that have the experience that are retiring out of these manufacturing facilities. Taking early retirement, they're leaving, and they're leaving without a plan or with even anyone fully understanding what knowledge is walking out the door when this person retires and all that experience. And I think training helps a lot with that, and it's just the years of experience that is lost when these people leave, and there's not enough young people going into the automation field to meet the demand.
So for me, having lived through all these cycles of forced upgrades from different manufacturers, so you got to find your own solution. So classic automation, I was out there and looked at their inventory. It fills a gap between processes that need a new part, but they don't need a better part. They don't need a more current, they don't need an upgrade. They just need to replace what they've already got. Then there's no engineering involved. You just pull one out and wire the new one in, download the program, and away you go. So a lot of manufacturers obsolete their stuff only because they don't want to support it anymore. And this is a good example. Micrologic's 1100 and the 1000 even more so. The 1000s, you could buy them for $100 or so on eBay. The instant that they made them legacy, it tripled and quadrupled the price of the used stuff. Simply because a lot of companies, they don't want to replace this with something better. They just want to replace it and get production back up and going again. Classic automation, being able to supply a lot of these components where you just pull out one and pop another one in, turn it back on, you're back in production, that improves manufacturing production rates. That makes the companies money. And if you change the controller, chances are you're going to be changing the software, and now you're going to have to get your employees trained on a different software package. And even if it worked exactly the same, a lot of times maintenance people, they look, if it's different, there's a little bit of a intimidation factor there. I see an excellent fit for classic automation in the industrial manufacturing, and it's witnessed by the fact of how big they are and how much success they've had. Like a famous mathematician said, it's so beautiful, it has to be true.
Well, thank you for that. So classic automation is in the exact part number business. So we have a large stocks, so it's available quickly when production is down, but we have to have the exact part number, because in many cases, the program only will run on that exact part number, or that, like an Allen Bradley series, exact firmware version. And if, depending upon how you've backed up the program, you need to, you load it back onto the target there. We help our customers in cases with backing up their programs and downloading their programs again. If they have a problem in the field, we're providing them a tested part, and if their production's not running, we can talk them through and troubleshooting, what the problem is and get them back up and running.
So it's an extension to their spare parts inventory. I think in some cases, classic automation actually works with their customers to improve their spare parts. So it's like feed forward, getting ahead of the curve.
We use AI in the audit program too, so we can take photos of cabinets, determine the part numbers, as far as auditing everything that's in the supply spare parts room, a comparison between production, automation, and spare parts, and any gaps that are as far as spare parts covered, so we can proactively buy spare parts to cover everything.
Well, there's a huge risk because people are leaving faster than they're coming. So it's a double-edged sword. So the people that I might say do what I do, or maintenance technicians that work in supporting PLC and industrial control systems, the people that are leaving those jobs, that number is greater than the number of people that are preparing for those jobs, but the demand is increasing. The people just aren't there that are trained to do the work. And that's specifically what I do, is knowledge transfer, training on, and I do strictly the Allen Bradley platforms, 500, Micrologics, 5000, Connected Components Workbench, Micro 800, Panel V800s, PowerFlex drives. I do strictly that arena. That's my part in trying to bolster and fill the gap on that problem.
It's very hard to hire automation technicians and engineers, and classic automation has to do a lot of training in-house, and we have a good program to do that. It's more one-on-one mentoring with things, but we have a lot of documented test records, documented knowledge bank for repairs that helps people gain the knowledge that we have.